Here are the only 5 exercises you need to look jacked. Before I get into the exercises, let me clear something up. Typically when I do videos like this, I always give you 5 upper body exercises or just 5 complete body compound movement style exercises. Now with this video, I did a little bit of both. Why? Because it doesn't matter if you just look jacked from the top, you need to be jacked from the bottom up. Meaning, I don't want you to only focus on building upper body muscle, man. You've got to focus on building some lower body muscle and balancing that out with your upper body as well. I'm also gonna get through this quickly. I want you to really listen, pay attention, because we're gonna get quickly through this video. All right, first exercise we're gonna do is a dumbbell RDL, dumbbell Romanian deadlift is what an RDL is. I like this exercise more for my older guys than a standard deadlift because not everybody can do a deadlift correctly. I've been watching a lot of people doing deadlifts and there's a lot of bad form out there, man. And why? Not only because you may not know what you're doing, but because you've got limited range of motion and limited mobility in your hips. That's a massive difference. You know, you've got to have mobility in your hips, you have to have mobility in your ankles, and even in your shoulders to do these correctly. If you're missing out on any of that mobility, maybe you just have a lot of wear and tear in your joints, or you just have tight muscles, which most people do now that they're older due to sedentary lifestyles. Well, that can throw off a deadlift when you're pulling from the floor. So I'm going to replace those and we're using a dumbbell RDL instead. Now, the thing I really want you to focus on, keeping your core tight, and anytime you're lowering the weight, you want to do this more so from a hip hinge position, meaning getting your butt back, man. Drive your butt back as opposed to just bending over to lower the weight. You want to keep the dumbbells close to your body, drive that butt back, and only go as deep as you can comfortably go. The dumbbells only have to go to about your knees, maybe slightly below. Now, this exercise is gonna work your hamstrings, it's gonna work your glutes, it's gonna work your lower back. So it's gonna allow you to work a lot of those core muscles. That's why I put that in here. Now, we also wanna focus on working the front side, the anterior side of your legs. For that, we're choosing a dumbbell squat, but I want you to use a heels elevated squat. Meaning you're gonna get your heels up on a plate. It can be a slight elevation, maybe 1 or 2 inches at most. So this is going to remove some of that mobility that you may be lacking in your ankles. So when you're taking that, let's say, lack of mobility away from your ankles, it's gonna allow you to actually go a little bit deeper into this descent. Every time you go a little bit deeper in this position, you're going to be able to get more work and more emphasis on your quadriceps, which is what I want you to focus on. So again, the first exercise, all about the posterior, man. We work the lower back, the glutes, the hamstrings. Now we're working those quads and the hips. So you're gonna get work done with both of those. Now, these are considered compound movements. You're able to push a little bit more weight, heavier loads when you're doing these, or control heavier loads. When you're doing that, you're also gonna work that deep core muscle, which is what you wanna do when you're doing these exercises as well. So really focus on engaging your core when you're doing these. All right, first 2 exercises, you notice a common theme, all about the lower body. Now, all about the upper body, because the premise of the video, looking jacked, not just being jacked, because you can be jacked and people never know. So we also want to look jacked. So for that, the first upper body exercise we're going with is gonna be a chest exercise. And this is a chest press, but with a 30-degree incline. So I want you to use the 30-degree incline because what this one does, it still allows you to push a decent amount of weight, which is gonna allow you to pack on some good muscle, but you're also gonna build that upper chest. So when you have a bigger or fuller upper chest, that's noticeable. So you actually look bigger than you might actually be because the upper chest actually sticks out, man. So it makes a big difference in how your appearance is. So that's why we're choosing this one as opposed to just a standard flat bench press. Plus, since this video is geared towards you older guys, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70 years old, I want you to use this angle because it's a safer angle on your shoulders. And we're choosing the dumbbells as opposed to the barbells because, again, not only is it safer for your shoulders, a dumbbell versus a barbell is also safer for your elbows. So safer for your joints is what we're looking for, but also this allows you to work with a movement pattern that's more beneficial and gonna be more in direct alignment with your overall mechanics if you have wear and tear on your joints or a lot of muscular imbalances due to being older. So that makes a massive difference. So this is the exercise we're gonna be doing for our chest. Now for the back, man, I'm going with pull-ups. You may say, hey man, I'm too old to do pull-ups or pull-ups are too hard for me. That's okay, but here's two things I want you to focus on. I want you to work on your strength so that you can get to where you can do pull-ups. And why am I telling you this? Because I've got an 81-year-old guy in my program, man, in my coaching program, that can do 5 pull-ups. Now, if he can do 5 pull-ups, I want you to get to where you can do pull-ups. Now, I understand it may be hard for you initially. So if you need to start with some lat pull downs, which is this, a similar type of movement pattern, start there and progress. Try to do, if you go to a gym, a lot of gyms have those types of machines that allow you to offset your weight. They're assisted pull-ups. So you can start with the assisted pull-ups until you get to where you can do your full body weight, or you can start with a heavy resistance band below your knee. That's gonna allow you to offset your weight as well if you're trying to do a pull-up. Do one of those with the goal being to eventually do pull-ups, because as a man, it's always cool to be able to pull your own body weight. If you can do it once, twice, 3 times, 5 repetitions, 10 repetitions, that's even better. All right, so for that reason, I put pull-ups in there. If you can't do those initially, try to use some of those little tips I just shared, or even just do some lat pull downs if that's all you're able to do. Just use that variation, mimic that same movement pattern. That's gonna allow you to work those lats, which is gonna give you a wider appearance. Anytime you have a wider upper body, it's actually gonna bring in a tighter midsection, which is gonna give you a V taper. So that's why I'm throwing in the pull-up. It's gonna just give you that wider appearance, which is gonna make a massive difference in how you look overall. Now, to piggyback off of that, we're gonna do the same thing with the shoulder press. So I wanna use a dumbbell shoulder press. So again, same reasoning that we went over when we were talking about a dumbbell bench press. We wanna use dumbbells for the shoulder press as well. It's gonna allow you to use a different hand position, one that's more comfortable for you. It's gonna allow you to line your body up in an anatomically correct position, whether you have tight shoulders, tight elbows, or just have some kind of muscular imbalance somewhere. I want you to focus on doing a shoulder press with dumbbells. Now, the key to doing shoulder presses is you want some round shoulders, man. So we've already worked on the widening of your back, your lats. Now we're gonna make sure we're adding some size to those shoulders, because when you have thickness to your shoulders, it actually makes you look bigger. So it actually is gonna give you a bigger, more muscular appearance, more V-shaped appearance. And you're looking jacked when you build bigger shoulders. You're looking jacked when you're building bigger lats. That's the common theme with this video. So that's what this is all about, man. Now here's the thing, I wanna give you a bonus exercise. So again, we are starting to look jacked. We've got V-taper going on. We're widening our upper body. We're working on some lower body stuff with the first 2 exercises I gave you. But now I wanna give you something a little bit different. I talked about only needing 5 exercises to look jacked. If you can do a 6, man, I want you to throw in some dumbbell farmer carries. This is a great exercise for looking jacked, because this exercise not only is gonna work your core, your deep core muscles, your transverse abdominal muscles, it's gonna make those abs pop as well, but you're also gonna work your traps. When you have a good set of traps on your body, you look jacked, man. You ever notice why some of these wrestlers, they may not be large guys, but they have big traps, and if you see them in shirts or you see them in a tank top, they look completely jacked and a lot bigger than they actually are. It's an illusionary muscle. So for that reason, I wanted to throw in this 6 exercise as a bonus. But there you have it, man. You do these 5 exercises, or if you throw in these 6, even better. Do these, you're gonna get jacked and you're gonna look jacked. But there you have it, man. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. As always, get busy, get after it, and God bless.